Hope you're okay. I'm missing you loads. I don't know if you are alive up there or not, but if you are, I hope you're doing fine. I love you loads. I wish you were there with me now. Can't believe you're gone. Don't feel real. I feel stupid sometimes because I'm talking to a grave, but I know I shouldn't because he's still there and listening to me. So I think I have to just build up my confidence to talk to him a bit more.
But where do you think he is at the moment?
In heaven, up in the sky somewhere. I think that what helps me as well, but knowing that I think he's in a happy place and that nothing bad can happen to him now, and he's safe up there.
And do you believe in God and angels and...
I believe in angels. I don't really much believe in God. I'm not really a believer in God. I just of the heaven and angels that look after you.
Do you think he can see you?
Yeah. I think he'd be laughing at me.
Why would he be laughing at you?
Because I keep crying. And I think I'm stupid because that he is there, but even though I can't see him, I find it funny.
Did you notice any change in John whilst you were out there?
Yeah, I did. He spoke to me whilst he was on one of the guard duties and said that he was considering leaving the army and going to go on and do sort of further education, do a bit of travelling and with his girlfriend, and kind of came as a little bit of a surprise to me really, because he'd only just recently passed his sergeant's course and was due to pick up his sergeant's pretty much the next month. I'd actually tried to persuade him to stay in, save a bit of money and then maybe get out. But he was genuinely excited about starting a new life after Iraq.
A British soldier who died following a roadside bomb attack in southern Iraq has been named as Corporal John Rigby from the 4th Battalion, the Rifles. He died on his 24th birthday. His twin brother, who serves in the same regiment, was at his bedside.
I was like totally oblivious to it all, wasn't I, really? I had no idea that it had gone to, you know, these were the sort of headlines that were getting. I was still stuck in my tent in Iraq, waiting to take John home on the aeroplane.
You know, it all basically says the same sort of thing. And
it all focuses on the
twin.
The twinship,
yeah.
and the fact that it was our birthday, and you know, and the fact that I was there when he died. And
that was the story. The fact that he had two sisters wasn't really ever sort of, I don't know, they never really talked about it, but it didn't really bother me.
We didn't exactly have press camped in the lane.
We did at one time.
But it was pretty close. Very unwelcome.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It could have been intrusive, I think, if we'd allowed it to be. I
You
kind
have to be quite blunt to them.
You have to, and I dealt with them
You can't ask them nicely to go away. You have to, because they
bluntly.
won't take no for an answer. You have to be quite rude to get rid of them.
I think we had some round on the afternoon that we received the news. We had some newspaper people round.
Really?
Yeah.
And at 8 o'clock in the morning, the day after the funeral, which I found astounding.
So the only photo that really upsets me is actually one of you, which is in the soldier. There it is. And that's that one. That's one I don't like. And that's the only time that day I saw you, you know, look upset.
I was woken up at 7 o'clock in the morning by my platoon commander on my birthday. And he said John's been involved in an incident.
We'd been out on strike operation, and a roadside bomb went off right next to the vehicle, and a large lump of shrapnel caught him in the head underneath the helmet, and he was unconscious immediately.
Where were you at that time?
I was about, I suppose, about 150 yards back, behind him.
And the colonel just sat there very quiet, letting me sort of consume the information, and then he just said, "Do you want a glass of scotch?" And I said, "Yeah, I do."
Meanwhile, I got people to try to arrange a helicopter flight based on, depending on what John's condition was like, for Will to go up and join him. And we didn't know, the prognosis was that he might survive. They weren't sure, they weren't very optimistic, but it was definitely worth Will going up there.
I walked into the room that they were holding John. He looked very peaceful. He just had his kind of trousers on and nothing on top. The machine was breathing for him at the time. I was left alone for quite some time, holding his hand, just sort of trying to take it all in, just trying to, you know, think, is this a bad dream? Is this really happening? Is this reality? Is this... You just got about a million of things going through your mind. And then the doctor sort of got hold of me and said, "You know, we've got the CAT scans here. I think this can explain what John's condition is better than I can." And so he showed me the CAT scans, and a picture does paint 1,000 words. I realised then that that the John that I knew would no longer be with me or with us.
There he is. This photo was taken last April, and it's the last fishing trip that John and I had together. We put that photograph on the reverse of the order of service at his funeral. So on the cover was his beaming face in all his desert combat kit, which was actually taken only days before he died, and on the reverse was that. So it was the two sides of him really, the military and very much the country boy, the country lover, who loved his fishing.
He did he?
Very much so, yeah, yeah. And as I put underneath, he would have made a fine angler. He wasn't quite there yet, but he would have become a very fine angler indeed. Okay. Let it sink for a little bit.